Hey guys, Patrick Harrison here. I'm sure you have your own thoughts of what the top Discraft Pros for 2019 are going to be, but I had a chance to catch up with Discraft Underground team captain Wes Shinevar and talk to him a little bit about what he thinks is going to happen in 2019 and what pros that we need to be on the lookout for. Number 5, Corey Ellis from West Virginia.
Corey Ellis was a mid-season pickup for Team Discraft in 2018, and I bumped into him a couple of times this year. First at the Great Lakes Open, second at the CCR Open, and the kid just has an arm. Really nice guy, really just a bomber. And this was really his first year touring a lot. We see him play in 38 tournaments in 2018, so he was all over the place, including a couple big wins in there, but he cashed at every tournament except for one throughout the year, and I think with a year of touring experience under his belt, getting to learn the courses, getting to learn the tour life a little bit, I really expect to see some big things from him in 2019, and we see him also with a career high rating of 1,004, go along with his great season. I definitely think that's gonna jump up next year, and we will see him on at least some chase cards at some bigger tournaments, and we might even catch him on a lead card at a major along the way. So Corey Ellis, super excited about his potential for 2019.
Number 4, Hailey King from West Bend, Wisconsin.
Hailey King is one of Team Discraft's youngest players. I believe she is just 17, and this was also her first year playing full-time in the FPO field. Hailey King just has a really solid game and just a tremendous love of disc golf, especially for somebody that's a little bit younger. Definitely one of the farthest throwers in the FPO field. I believe she took second in the distance competition at Worlds even, so she can crush and is still really learning her way, similar to Corey Ellis, kind of around the tour and around these big tournaments. We saw her cash at all but 2 tournaments this year. Really great for her first year out there touring, and we saw a couple really good finishes from her, including an 8th place finish at Ledgestone, and then we also see a 10th place finish at Pro Worlds, and another 10th place finish at US Women's. So Hailey King with some really good finishes to build some confidence going into the 2019 season. I think as she continues to grow and really build her game a little bit more as she continues to mature, she definitely has a lot of potential to do some big things in 2019 at any event that she's at. With a solid all-around game, we could easily see her on lead cards at NT events, pro tours, majors, possibly even the World Championship. So really excited to see what Hailey King can bring in the 2019 season.
Number 3, Andrew Presnell from Ozark, Missouri.
Andrew Presnell was recently announced to be joining Team Discraft announced at the end of the 2018 season here, and I just cannot say enough great things about Andrew Presnell. He had a fantastic season playing 36 tournaments, raked in $16,000 in cash, and really very quietly had one of the better seasons out on the pro tour. We saw him finish towards the top at nearly every tournament, including an A-tier win, and really his big finish was 12th place at the World Championship. This is another guy that's still kind of younger on tour. I think this was his first year being out on tour full-time, and again, kind of these guys that are sort of getting their bearings out on tour, learning these courses, and are going to have that experience for next year at the tournaments. And I think Andrew Presnell is right at the top of my list for guys that are going to have a breakout season in 2019. Joining Team Discraft, he's going to have some really great teammates that are going to be helping him along the way. He's going to have a lot more support from Discraft, and I think we're going to see him, again, playing a lot of tournaments all over the country, doing extremely well, but the big difference, I think, is that he's going to be on some lead cards or even some chase cards at some of the majors in 2019, and I think he's going to very quickly become a name that a lot of people are going to be a lot more familiar with in the 2019 season.
Number 2, Austin Turner from Mint Hill, North Carolina.
Austin Turner had a really tough 2018 season that he struggled with some injuries throughout. He really tried to push his body to play in as many tournaments as he could, but he definitely was not 100%. And at these big events, when you have a lot of touring pros and the sport is growing, you really got to be 110% both mentally and physically to compete at the top level. 2017, we saw Austin Turner really have a breakout season, finishing 8th in the world, I believe it was, in the power ranking, and he really wanted to follow that up in 2018 with a strong season as well, but with the injuries, he just wasn't able to do that. I've seen him posting on Facebook, I've seen him posting on Instagram that he is trying to work out those injuries and get his body back to 100% for the 2019 season. And I think in 2019 it's going to be a little bit of a revenge tour, if you will, for Austin Turner. He was not satisfied at all with his 2018 season, and the kid is a fantastic player. We see his rating drop down to 1,007, which looks like about a 2-year low for him. Makes sense after a great season last year. But I think we're really going to see Austin Turner bounce back in 2019, get back to form, and get back to the great season that he had in 2017 and start building on that next year. So I think Austin Turner is really going to be somebody to keep an eye on, to watch. Definitely has a lot of potential to make a big splash at any of the major events. So I know that I'll be keeping an eye on him, and we'll see what he's got in the 2019 season.
Number 1, Paul McBeth, Huntington Beach, California.
Number 1's got to be Paul McBeth, the biggest off-season move really in the history of disc golf. A lot of people, I don't think anybody really saw this one coming. I know I didn't. Was really surprised to see Paul McBeth leave Innova and move over to Discraft. It's been really interesting to follow along with some of his preseason interviews here to talk about some of the reasons that he made the move that he did. If we look back at Paul's 2018 season, it was a pretty successful season. Paul attended 25 events. He raked in a little over 57,000 in winnings, and not all that quietly, but somewhat quietly without a lot of really big wins. Put together a really great season. 2019 is going to be huge for the sport of disc golf. 2019 is going to be huge for Paul McBeth. Switching over to Discraft, he's going to have a new bag, and I'm sure every tournament that he's at, people are really going to be scrutinizing maybe his change if he doesn't shoot well, and maybe praising the change if he does shoot well. So Paul McBeth really being the number 1 player in the sport of disc golf, with everything that is going on with him, 2019, all eyes are going to be on Paul McBeth. And I know I'll be watching every tournament he plays, and I am super excited to see what Paul McBeth brings wearing the Team Discraft shirt in 2019.
Well, folks, there you have it. Those are Wes Shinevar's thoughts for the 2019 top pros from Discraft that you should be on the lookout for. What are you guys' thoughts? Make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you think about these top 5 pros. What pros did we miss that you think we should add on the list, and why? Also, make sure you guys subscribe up at the top, and thank you so much for supporting Wes and myself on this little video adventure that we're on.